So Team AH has decided that targeting the jury wasn't enough. Oh, they got to go after the judge now. That's right. They've been doing this on social media too. They've been doing it in mainstream interviews, and now the press, they're leading a charge. What's insane about this move is they're using the attacks on the judge to fuel their attacks on the jury. Basically, they want to go after anyone that was involved in this decision. What's really telling about this attack too is they're attacking the judge because she made this thing televised. They can't stand that idea because God forbid you and I actually get to see what's happening instead of them narrating their truth. You and I, we're going to talk about this today too. Man, they are salty. That's fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And if it sounds crazy that Team AH is targeting the judge, remember, they have targeted absolutely everyone involved in this decision. When I say everyone, I'm not just talking about people that are involved in the decision. We're talking about people like Judy Bellinger. That would be the court stenographer. They decided to go after her because JD thanked her, gave her a hug. It lasted all of 10 seconds. But what's interesting about them going after the judge is they think somehow, in some way, this is going to work out to be one of those gotchas. You know, hey, we called this out. We're going to get this on appeal. Yeah, here's a reality check, and I hope all of those folks are listening. Judges already don't like Team AH. They've made it clear in multiple courtrooms, so much in fact that here they were filing about the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. They were saying, JD's team, they need to use less intrusive ways of obtaining information. The judge actually goes off on them. They go off, they tell them, look, other people would just turn this over. You folks, what are you on about? Less intrusive means you're making them jump through hoops. And that's before articles like this. This one's from Slate.com, but there are dozens and dozens of other ones that reflect this and much worse. They're being used not to go after the judge's decision, but rather as a rallying cry to go after the judge in real life, to look at their families, look at where they live, look at anything people can go after, because how dare they decide something that we don't agree with. Now, if you doubt the veracity of those claims or the media's complicity in what's going on, listen to these opening sentences, because you can see them trying to galvanize, even weaponize support. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, ultimately, Me Too, it's about women. It's not about men. How dare that judge step out? How dare that judge open up a door where a man can finally get justice? Listen to this. Last Wednesday's verdict in the AHJD defamation case has been criticized for multiple reasons, particularly for the chilling effect the decision is likely to have on the Me Too movement, jeopardizing survivors' ability to speak out openly about their abuse. Now, from there, they start to hyper-focus on the judge and the jury, and I want you to see how this comes together, because it is such an elitist mentality. Quote, but the judge, that's who that is, I'm just going to call them the judge, made two rulings that paved a wide path for outside opinion to come in and improperly influence the jury. The first week came weeks before the trial began, with the judge allowing the proceeds to be televised. That decision was quickly criticized due to the sensitive nature of the DV testimony that was to come. Heard's attorneys noted how easy it would be to take footage of their client's testimony and manipulate it to malign her. They were right. Now, what's absolutely astounding is they follow this up, blaming everyone else but her for how she was perceived. It's amazing. I mean, basically, she could do whatever she wanted. She can claim whatever she wanted, because you know what? When she said something happened, you were supposed to listen and believe. Listen to this, though. Even so, it is unlikely that anyone could have anticipated the scope of how this footage would be used. There were tweets and Facebook posts with video clips, but there were also memes shared on Facebook with unflattering photos of AH inserted into images of Pirates of the Caribbean, as well as people uploading videos to TikTok mockingly lip-syncing her tearful testimony. There were no freaking tears. Come on. The daily footage over the course of the 7-week trial provided a constant source of images, audio, and video that could be used, manipulated, and shared with the world. Some images and videos were viewed billions of times with a clear preference for the anti-AH content. Disturbingly, this really is where you get to the crux of it. Disturbingly, much of this content seems to have been created by alt-right bots. What does that mean, by the way? I thought we were just bots. Now we're alt-right bots? I thought we were Russian bots. Can they not get this, right? And men's rights activists. You notice they use that as a dirty word, by the way. Think that men shouldn't be abused. How dare you not listen and believe? Because JD, as a plaintiff, presented his evidence first, members of the public may have already made up their minds before AH presented her side of the story, though there is plenty of evidence that the public opinion was in favor before the trial even began. Now, from there, they decide to target the jury. So they're targeting the judge, they're targeting the jury, and they're using it with the exact same talking points you hear from everyone surrounding AH, from her lawyers and on, because this is not information, this is weaponization. And this weaponization, it's done with doubt. We don't even know anything was done wrong. But hey, since they didn't sequester the jury, maybe it did. And that's good enough. Quote, but it's impossible to know whether the jury followed orders, on not looking at media. There's plenty of evidence to suggest that, generally speaking, members of juries do seek out information or talk to their friends about their cases, even when the judge tells them not to. And that is for normal, run-of-the-mill cases, not the social media trial of the century. So right there, they're telling you, even though we don't know anything terrible was done by the jury, that terrible judge allowed this to happen, you know that they did something wrong. Yeah, what do they want to happen here? You know exactly what they want. More importantly, even if they did their best to avoid the news or talking about the trial, how could the jury avoid catching a glimpse of the deluge of social media coverage of the case? Even passive use of social media platforms would have presented images, memes, GIFs, tweets, TikTok videos about the case, likely in JD's favor. Social media algorithms would have placed this content front and center on their Facebook news feeds or Instagram homepages, either because the content was generally popular or because at least some of their contacts were sharing it. Make no mistake, too, they're not just coming for the judge and the jury, they're coming after you as well. Why? Because you saw right through them. You became the arbiter of truth, and you saw something that for 6 years they've been pushing, because you know what? Listen and believe. But anyway, let me know what you think about that. Check out the links in the description. We have a book, for example. I hope you'll check that out. But thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Share this far and wide. Thank you again. We'll see you soon.